Hi. My name is Erica LaShawn. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome. It's 7:55 p.m. 12 second, 12/2/2024. Yeah, I'm back again. I have a compulsion. As long as I have something to talk about, I'll talk. If not, I won't or whatever. But anyway, have y'all ever thought about the y'all remember the first test tube baby? Yeah, I was here for it. The first test tube baby, 1978. I was born in 75, so I was 3. So, this was the very first in the U.S. In the U.S. Look it up. July 25th, 1978. Louise Joy Brown became the first baby in the world to be born through in vitro fertilization. I was there for it. I remember it. This was a thing. Known as the first quote unquote first test tube baby, although the IVF process actually took place on a petri dish, her birth was made possible thanks to the cutting edge research of these British scientists. Dr. Robert Edwards, Dr. Patrick Steptoe, and Jean Purdy. Purdy. They ain't put the DR in front of you, child. Now, at that time, the trio had been working together for a decade on IVF, a procedure where the sperm and an egg are combined outside of the body and into the uterus. My pages are looking crazy. Though Dr. Edwards, Dr. Steptoe is cut off, and I'm not going to, okay. Since I can't. Since then, more than 12 million is cut off. Screw you, printer at the job. Here's everything to know about the first IVF baby. Louise Joyce Brown, and where she is now. It's a picture here. Okay. F the printer. Dr. Patrick Steptoe, who was, that's a word I've never seen. Avioping. It could be a Q. This printer, and a rearrangement for youth with blocked tubes, though the experimental procedure offered just a quote unquote 1 in a million chances of success. Leslie turned to Dr. Steptoe for help, according to the website of the world's first IVF clinic, Borum Hall. With the help of Dr. Steptoe, Dr. Robert Jr.'s, and John Purdy, Leslie became pregnant through in vitro fertilization in December 1977. That was 2. That was 2. Wow. According to the BBC, in July 1978, healthy baby Louise was born by Sarah. Wait, don't do this, sir. I was a C-section baby, so don't do it. Cesarean. I know you ain't gonna do that on here. I was a cesarean baby. Yeah, they cut my mother up and yanked me out. And I'm here. And my mother had a partial hysterectomy. They probably call it something different now. But my mother told me she had a partial. I was like, what's that? I was like, what's a partial? And she said they took some of her fallopian tubes out. I'm still here. My name is Erica LaShawn. Please like, share, and subscribe. I came on one tube. Screw all y'all. I came on one tube. My mother had a partial hysterectomy, and I still made it. Boom. And she told me that my brother, wait, she told me my mother and father were married for 6 years before Eric was born. My brother Eric, before he was born, they were married for 6 years. And then I came along, my birth certificate, my mother is 33 on my birth certificate, I think. Don't make me get it out. 33. My mother was old in those times. In those times, she was like 33 or 34 in those times, in the 70s. Anyway, let's go. With the help of Dr. Okay, All right. All right. Healthy baby Louise was born by cesarean section and my mother showed me her scar. It's a little long. It's up under her little flap or whatever. But cesareans now are the incision is not long. Like my mother's scar go from like one side to the left. She showed it to me one time. Now, that incision gotta be like 6 inches. It's not. They just get in and get out, and they yank that baby out. I saw it. They yanked that poor baby out. They just yank it out, y'all. Anyway, healthy baby was born cesarean section. Okay, bye. Making her the first baby conceived in intro fertilization to ever be known. Welcome, Louise. I was there, girl. I was like 2 or whatever. Welcome. Not only did Dr. Steptoe and Dr. Edwards make Louise's birth possible, they also played a part in naming her. The two suggested a middle name that would pay homage to the influence Louise's birth would have for the generations to come. I would straight name my baby a straight be. My baby would be like, whatever. My middle name IVF. Quote unquote. Doctors have made the middle name a joy. Oh, okay. Because they said my birth could bring joy to many people. Louise recounted to People magazine in 2017, quote unquote, I want to live up to that name. Louise's parents will go on to have a second child via IVF. Their daughter, Natalie, was born in 1982. I think I was 11, 75, 85, 12. And became the 40th child in the world to be born thanks to vertical fertilization. I almost did it. Anyway, Louise began to attract attention from the press and public before she was even born. When news of Leslie's pregnancy via IVF was leaked to the media, she was forced to go into hiding and protect herself and her unborn child, quote unquote. We were concerned that she would lose the baby, the fetus, because the press was chasing Mrs. Brown all over Bristol, where she lived. Dr. Edwards told the BBC in 2008, quote unquote, so secretly Patrick Steptoe hid the mother in his car and drove her in his, it broke off, FU printer at work. And while Leslie's cesarean section, I can't even read it. I have to do better. Louise also, I can't, on a 6-month media tour after the birth, visiting Japan, the U.S., Canada, and Ireland, according to the Borum Hall Fertility Clinic. And while the Browns received hundreds of cards from well-wishers and those struggling to conceive. There was quote-unquote hate mail as well, as Louise recalled to the BBC in 2015. Some raised questions about the ethics of intro fertilization, while others criticized the Browns for making the birth so public. Quote unquote, my parents didn't have a choice about making it public, Louise told Time magazine in 2018. Quote unquote, if they didn't, they would have had people asking, quote unquote, why can't we see her? What's going on with her? She continued, Steptoe and Edwards needed the birth to be public. Had there been anything at all wrong with me, it would have been the end of the IVF. That's the first test tube baby, y'all. All these of the scientists responsible for in vitro fertilization have since died. Purdy died on March 26, 1985, from malignant melanoma at just 39 years old. According to Borum Hall, the fertility clinic she helped found. 3 years later, on March 21st, 1988, Dr. Steptoe died at the age of 74. The New York Times reported he also had cancer. His family shared at the time. Dr. Edwards survived his colleagues by more than 2 decades until his death on April 10th, 2013, at the age of 87. The New York Times, prior to his death, he was awarded is blocked off. Okay. He got an award. And a quote. I've always, okay. Effing printer. Alright, I'm over it. She is currently, what's she doing now? That's what I looked up. What's she doing now? The first test tube baby girl, what you doing? She is currently an ambassador for Borum Hall, in parentheses, the IVF clinic founded by Steptoe, Edwards, and Purdy. Okay, they threw you in, Purdy. They ain't gonna leave you behind. You in the books, Purdy. After her birth, that's in parentheses. Babel Health, an online platform sharing reproductive health information and advice, and joys and beginnings. In addition to her ambassador roles, Louise frequently performs speaking engagements around the world, sharing her story as the world's first IVF baby or whatever. After her parents died, John in 2007 and Leslie in 2012, Louise wrote a book titled Louise Brown, My Life as the First Test Tube Baby, in their honor. She was, y'all. This is groundbreaking. But anyway, quote unquote, I felt that memories needed to be preserved, and I thought it was important for people to know the story from the family's point of view. Louise told People magazine in 2027, quote unquote, I was thankful that my parents took me out of the limelight when I was young so that I could have a normal upbringing. Yeah. In her personal life, Louise married Wesley Mulinder, 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 a security officer in 2004. The couple have 2 sons together, Cameron, born in 2006, and Aiden, born in 2013. Both children were conceived without the help of fertility treatments. Louise has been a part of Is Breaking Up, Can't Do It, I'm About to Go, and I got a TT. I got the PP. I got to go. My name is Erica LaShawn. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, bye.